What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another video. I'm super excited to say that we are finally debuting my F-150 with the new wrap and quite a few new accessories, and there's still more to come. But today's video, we're gonna go over what I've done since I bought the truck and check out this new wrap. As you guys can see, my F-150 is finally wrapped. I'm super excited about it. This is a color scheme that I wanted to do on something for quite some time, and it just worked out absolutely perfect on this one. You guys kind of got a little bit of a teaser a little while ago with the wheels, because that kind of released kind of the color scheme a little bit. And these are actually my old red wheels. So if you guys remember, they were all faded and everything when I got it back. And I had these guys re-powder coated by a local powder coat company to match the color of the wrap, or actually we matched the wrap to the wheels, but I just couldn't go away with the cover. So I started making a list of all the stuff that I wanted to redo or change or add to, and I've started checking off some of those things on the list. The very first thing that I did was get rid of the LEDs in my front bumper, and those Rough Country ones were fine, but they weren't what I was looking for, and I needed to add a light bar in the center because it just wasn't enough light. And actually, Trail Effects reached out to me. I've worked with them in the past on other stuff, and they reached out to me and hooked me up with these sets of lights. They're their night edition, they're new ones. We'll have a video on those coming soon, but I've got them in. They're not hooked up yet, and actually none of the lighting is hooked up yet because I haven't had time to do the wiring, because this thing's been in and out of the dealership for a little bit now. In addition to the Trail Effects lights on the front bumper, I also went ahead and added some ditch lights from Morimoto. It's their two-banger LEDs, and it's in the amber. I wanted to kind of switch up some of the lighting up higher to cut through the dust and fog and rain a little bit better. And so that's what I decided to go with. I was really impressed with their distance on those lights, and that's something that I really can't wait to try out. Moving on to the lower side of the truck, there's a few things that needed updated. The first thing that I did was change out these tires. The old tires were just dry rotted, which is kind of crazy because they were only on the truck for about 3 years, but they sat in the sun all the time. It's got 30,000 more miles than when I bought it or when I sold it. And so it was just time to kind of update those tires anyways. So I went ahead with the same exact set, 37, 1350, 18s in the deload range from Toyo. Really love those tires, so I wasn't gonna switch to anything else. The second thing that needed done was new coilovers. The old coilovers, one of them was leaking, and so it actually rode really rough. And so Rough Country hooked it up and got me a replacement set of these Vertex. So we went ahead and got those installed. It rides phenomenal now. And then after upgrading that stuff, or updating it, I guess you could say, it was time to also update the NFAB steps. They've got a 5-year finish warranty on them, and since I'm the original purchaser of the steps, I went ahead and got those boys warranted because they were chipping, flaking, and that kind of stuff. Can't ever complain about a warranty. So let's go ahead and talk about the wrap real quick before we move on. I've been asked a lot why this color scheme, and to be completely honest, I can't give you an exact reason. It was a color scheme that I've wanted to do on something for a very long time, and it just so happened to work out when I was messing around on Photoshop with this one, that this is the colors that I went with. And the whole matte finish on the entire wrap is really something that I didn't even think about, that BC & Signs came up with, and I'm super excited with the finish of it. It turned out better than I could have imagined. And as you can see, I also added a few of the manufacturer logos that have parts on my truck. It's obviously not everything, but these are some of the notable ones. Like, we've got Fox on there because my rear shocks. Now, obviously, yes, I am running a Rough Country and a Vertex, but Fox is a big seller of ours. So I wanted to make sure that was on the truck. Fuel Off-Road, can't say enough good things about them. And I love these wheels, so it just made sense. Toyo tires, one of the best tires on the market, absolutely love them. ICI, this truck would not be what it is without that Illumilite front bumper. So of course I had to throw that on there as well. And then Pedal Commander, that is a big reason why I love driving this truck. If I remember correctly, I think the taillights were already on in the last video. So you guys have kind of already seen those, but those are the Alpha Rex LED taillights. Those are awesome. I actually really like the look of them. They're totally different than anything else on the market. And finally, on the outside of the truck, the last thing that we're gonna talk about is the Ecological tailgate plaque that I added on there. That is something I wish I would have done when I first owned it, but honestly, I didn't even know about them until just recently. Ecological has a lot of really cool accessories that are just 3M adhesive on the truck, and they're meant to kind of do like chrome deletes and like the tailgate plaque delete on the Platinums, just like a bunch of different options for that kind of stuff. And actually I'll be adding a little bit more from them, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. So the last things that I've added on the truck since I bought it back is a few things from Built Right Industries. They're a new manufacturer that we sell, and I'm super excited to get some of their parts on my truck. The first thing that I did was I did the seat back MOLLE on the passenger side behind the seat where your floor jack or your jack is for your truck. They replaced that with a MOLLE panel, and I'm actually going to be adding some stuff to that, and so that was kind of necessary if you ask me. They also make it really easy to drop the seat back on the driver's side. It's really hard to do if you own a Ford, and Built Right Industries makes a strap and mechanism that makes it super easy. Just pull a strap up and you've already dropped the seat. And then the last thing that I added, which I'm going to be adding a little bit more from them as well, is their front dash kit. That is going to allow me to add a few things such as like a phone mount, which you can see right there. And then my switch panel is going to go up there, and another RAM mount so that I can actually put my GPS system up there for when I'm overlanding. As you can see, it's getting a little dark, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up talking about the things that I want to do to the truck or already have planned to do to the truck coming up very soon. On my checklist of things to get done, I need to wire up all the lights. I have not done that yet. Everything is pretty much ran, but I switched to a different switch system. I actually went with the rough country switch system. I think what's gonna happen is as soon as I get my last LED light on there, that's when we're gonna wire everything up, finally put it up on the dash, and really make it functional. That being said, the last light that I'm gonna be adding on here is a KC Pro 6 LED bar. Now I have that on my Comanche, and it's actually coming off a Forky. I've already got B-Scene signs to wrap the KC so that it matches the wrap, but that's something that I really wanted to do when I owned the truck last. And it's just so much money for one of those bars, which well worth it, but I already have one. I don't need two. So I'm gonna take it off the Comanche, which it's already off, and then it's gonna go on here very soon. So like I said, there's a couple other things I'm gonna be adding from Ecological, the tailgate plaque company, and they make a lot of paint matching, kind of chrome delete stuff. So I'm actually gonna be putting their bumper caps on the rear of this just so that we can try them out. They come in a matte black finish, so it's gonna match the bottom half of the wrap anyways. So that will be really cool to see and check the fitment on, because I think it's something that could be a really good seller for us. I think one of the most important things that I need to really figure out on here, which just needs to happen very quickly because of an event that's coming up, but I need to figure out a new overland rack. I tried to mount our new tent up on my OVS Freedom rack, which unfortunately they don't make anymore, and it just didn't work the way I hoped. So I think we're gonna switch it up and maybe get me a new tent as well, and on top of that get me a different rack, which then leads me to my next option of, do I keep the Retrax tonneau cover or do I ditch it and mount a rack straight to the bedsides? That's been a question that I haven't really decided, and it's been a tough one to think about. That decision is going to come once I figure out what rack I'm actually going to do. So that's everything that I've updated on the truck since I bought this thing back. I'm really enjoying working on it again and having it back and getting to drive it, and honestly just falling in love all over again with this truck. There will be quite a few more videos coming as far as products going on this and testing out some products with this, and I am going to be planning another trip here very shortly, so be on the lookout for those additional videos. But on that note, that's it for today's video. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like, subscribe our channel, and that's it. We'll catch you guys on the next one.